Are you looking to build generational wealth from zero? Well, you've come to the right video. Today we have Braden Curry on with us, and he is going to be sharing with us just how to do that. How are you going, Braden?
Good, thanks, Nathan. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, I just thought, yeah, it was kind of like something I'm a bit passionate about and happy to chat about and grateful to chat with you about it. Go a bit too, I guess, deep too quick, but I just feel like from now on, technology is probably at a place where it's probably going to replace jobs, and for the first time in human history, we might have a generation that's to come in a less capable position than we are. Right now, it feels like we've got all the things we need at our disposal to go from zero to wherever we want to go. But for my kids or my kids' kids, it might not be such a simple equation. So yeah, I'm keen and passionate about sort of making that leap now, doing everything we can now, ourselves and our clients, our family and friends, to make sure we get across that curve and we're in a good spot moving forward.
Yeah. So how do you propose people go from zero to planning on building generational wealth to actually doing it? What vehicle do you have you seen work?
Well, it's property for me. I'm a big fan of property.
Yeah,
Property's got a
sweet.
good reputation, a good name for a good reason. But I think other things do work. But I think that if you want to get the actual like the scale to try and get to that next level, you do need sort of the leverage that comes with property.
Yeah, nice. So, can you share a bit about your background and what you're passionate about and what led you to property?
Yeah, I got pretty lucky early on. Just being around the family and that kind of stuff. They were in the property space. So dinner table conversation got exposed really early, and just fell in love with it without the dollar sides of it. So
Yeah,
got into the
nice.
property itself first. So got really lucky. I went down the whole no guarantors, no gifts, no financial assistance kind of thing for pride and ego sake. But yeah, the conversations and the learnings around the dinner table was probably the most valuable part, and how I fell into it.
Yeah, nice. So, your parents were into a bit of property, were they?
Yeah. So property investing. So,
Oh,
but
nice.
yeah, for them it was a way to, I don't know, force savings and rack up a heap of debt and like bite off more you can chew and chew like crazy. So, yeah, it's yeah baptism in the best way.
Nice. So, you started off doing property investment yourself, and then where'd you go from there?
Yeah, I just jumped into it. Just had an expectation that you could do it. Saw it done before. And I was just like, oh well, you work really hard and you save your money and you go buy houses and you keep buying them until just forever.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, lending doesn't quite work that way anymore. It's sort of all the shading and that kind of stuff restricts it a lot. So, yeah, I went out and I just worked a trade out of school and worked 3 jobs kind of thing. Saved everything I could, bought a couple of investments when I was 19, and off the same person, so same sales agent who had the agency, local agents,
Yeah.
real estate agency, sales side,
Yeah.
offered me a gig in there, and I said no at first. Bugger real estate agents, I don't want to deal with them or be around them or be one of them.
Yeah.
But then yeah, I was having a bad day on the tools, and I thought, bugger it, let's just make the switch. So yeah, jumped into sales for 5 years. Yeah, did a couple of flips myself, a little subdivision, and yeah, just love being around it. And it was more the property side that I liked. The sales side's a lot of just finding people find their homes and that kind of thing. But it's really the investing bit that I love. So yeah, I
Yep.
just jumped into, long story short, into the buyer's agent realm. And then yeah, we just focus mostly on investors. So I get to do the fun stuff all day, every day.
So, did that give you like a unique perspective going from sales to buyer's agent?
I
Does
think
that
so.
help?
Yeah, definitely. It helped in a lot of different ways. So, probably the first one, which is a volume negotiation skill wise. So when you work on hundreds of deals, you're obviously more versed in it than when you just normally just one or two, which is kind of probably the barrier for a lot of people getting into negotiation, that kind of thing. So a lot on the training side, but also you see behind the curtain how selling agents operate, what their processes are, that kind of thing, and also knowing what appeals most to them. So when we are making offers or we are dealing with agents, we're doing it in a really appealing way to them, so that they want to work with us more, and we can get great results for our clients. So yeah, definitely, yeah, something I'm grateful for the experience, and yeah, definitely think it gives us a bit of an edge over a lot of others. So.
Yeah. Who do you think you can help?
Yeah, I'd like to think just personally, like if we would ask like who's my ideal client, probably
Yeah.
someone with their own business that's sort of working hard to generate a good income. In property, generally speaking, the more money you make, the more you can invest, the more you can buy, the bigger exposure you get to the property market. So,
Yeah.
someone that's really good in their own little niche and works very hard at generating more income through that, and then wants to outsource their capital, the allocation of the capital to get the best return possible. That's where we jump in, and we really like repeat clients. So, someone we can buy for over and over and over again, and compound that effect and the work that we do.
Yeah, nice. So sounds like you're helping out investors, maybe with someone that's already fairly business minded,
Mhm.
and you don't just buy one property for them. You buy so like let's say if someone came to you and said, "Oh, I want to build generational wealth.
Yeah.
How the hell do I do that? I got zero knowledge, got zero cash. Uh,
Where do I go?
oh, where do I go?"
Mm.
So where would they start? You know, like what is that? I guess this video could be good for that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm big on like manufacturing equity and
Yeah,
cash flows. So rather than just sort of the passive approach of parking money in a property and waiting and seeing what happens, because I love it so much, I love the process so much. It's just more about how can we add value, how can we turn it around quicker, how can we. So is it a renovation where we can increase the equity and then we can roll on to the next one sooner than just waiting 10 years for the market to do its thing? Can we get better cash flow? Cash flow right now is kind of hard to come across straight off the shelf. So can
yeah,
we find something no one else wants to touch? Spend money in a really efficient way, so as minimal dollar expense, cash out of hand, and the best returns possible. How can we do that, and how can we roll that on to the next one? And also sustaining cash flow during that process. Like you can buy the best property in the world, but if you don't have cash flow support more purchases, you sort of stuck there. So keeping those things all in the mind, and yeah, it's fun. It's fun to map out. It's fun to plan out and see how far they want to go and hopefully we can contribute and in the best way possible.
yeah. So do you have a story you could share with us? Maybe with one of the clients that you work with? Something like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that?
yeah. It's interesting. Like a lot of our clients at the moment are sort of a bit more
Mm.
experienced,
Yeah,
just because not like because of like Southeast Queensland not being a massive buyers agency place. Obviously, you and I are well across it. Or your listeners probably still well
yeah.
across it as well. But the people that do come normally are pretty savvy, and they're just like, we just want you to do your thing. We
Mm.
have a couple of clients that are well off, and they've purchased with us a few times, but they've gone and made their money in business and then come to us to allocate it. So I don't
Yeah,
quite have the whole like the start at the bottom kind of stories yet for our clients, but I guess as the buyers agency becomes more well known, hopefully we can get our name out there a bit more and then pick up some people earlier in their buying journeys, and then we can really help that and compound that because we love doing it.
mm.
This is what I want to do for as long as I live. So it's not like I want to get in, get out, get the cash, and move on. It's like we want to build it with you, and we want to be here for the whole journey. So I guess if anyone's young and not even have to have the money now, we
Mm.
can just stay in touch and help them out over time.
Yeah, so you can do a bit of you're happy to talk to people about a bit of strategy and how to
Yeah,
get that a good foundation.
yeah, definitely. That
Yeah,
strategy is my
sweet.
it's my strategy as well. Like it's not it's just people that align with us. That's what I do for my own properties. That's what we do as a family. That's what we all do. So it's just what we do. Happy to chat about it. Happy to theorize about it all, and it's just fun for me. So more than happy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I find that's really enjoyable because you get to see like what people are dealing with in the real world and market conditions and that sort of thing. So, which areas do you help with? Like if an investor came to you.
Yeah, we focus on Southeast Queensland, so we're not sort of like an Australian-wide sort of buyers
Yeah,
agency yet. We really
yeah,
value the on the ground knowledge, like the little pockets within pockets, like the good
yeah,
streets, like the like all that kind of stuff. So right now, Southeast Queensland, we like cash flow, so sort of on the outskirts of Brisbane, kind of more where we're playing at the moment. That'll change over time, but eventually we want to go bigger and like national, obviously, but we want to do that once we have people on the ground and like offices set up and established with locals buying in them, rather than us looking at spreadsheets and maps and throwing darts at dartboards.
yeah, nice. Yeah, yes, yeah. Well, yeah, I definitely, yeah. I did have a look at the in Southeast Queensland. I did have a look at the Ipswich area, and it does look pretty good. Look at
Yeah,
look at RP
Ipswich.
data.
Yeah,
and it's appealing, and I do hear it's a lot of Sydney siders love it. So
yeah, yeah. Ipswich to Toowoomba, where we are right now. If someone's
yeah,
listening, sort of back end of this
yeah,
year, we like it. But yeah, we like them. We like as well. But it's good for granny flats. But it's quite expensive for what you get. We find just in Ipswich, you're getting a bit more of a high quality asset for the same price. So yes, that's all where we're playing right now.
yeah, yeah. There seems to be a lot of properties there that if you're still bought into the old Australian dream of having a backyard, it's a really good place. And
So we like the development potential of the Australian backyard. So.
yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah. So is is there any like with the manufacturing value in property? Is there any particular like style of project that you like? Like I've heard of people knocking down properties and splitting properties and just selling them on a DA or building or creating getting a larger block, doing a battle axe, putting a granny flat, and then getting rental for the house and the granny flat, that
Yeah,
sort of thing. Is there any, yeah, is there anything that you really guys like, you know,
like a
you like to
preference.
talk about? Yeah, a preference or something that you maybe you know
Doing today.
you're
Yeah, like
passionate about?
we
Yeah,
probably my favorite one from a simplicity point of view, less moving parts is just a renovation. So
yeah,
like under current roof line, you can go a long way with a smaller budget. As soon as you
yeah,
start getting councils involved, I just hate like dealing with councils. But there is more
yeah,
reward in it too, though. So there's like that trade off. But I'm really looking at how can we allocate large amounts of money and get the best percentage return rather than just like the biggest number on paper. So if you're looking to, get a big number per deal, you're probably better off doing like the developments and that kind of thing.
yeah,
But we're just looking for a return on our cash. So I think the most efficient way right now, especially with builders being all over the shop, and I know I'm only compounding that negative media story, but it's like there's so many unknowns. I know we know exactly what a house is worth after it's got a lick of paint and a new kitchen. There's not many unknowns, and the prices on that they fluctuate, but a lot less dramatically, and a lot less reliance on big companies to come through for you.
yeah. I definitely think there's something in that because when I've been to property networking groups and that sort of thing, people like to talk about saving tax and avoiding tax and this sort of thing. But what about being able to see what the market's doing and being able to turn over cash, make a return, before the market changes or in a time frame where there's not likely to be much like market like a change in, um, you
Just
know,
the economic side of things. Just
yeah,
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 yeah. I think that's a really valid point.
yeah. I'm just
Yeah.
impatient, maybe. I just want to get it
Well, you're
done.
in
Anyway.
control, aren't you? Yeah, you
Yeah,
might. Yeah, call it impatience, but if you yeah, I mean, if another like COVID comes around or something like that, like you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know what's gonna happen. But if it's a short term, like let's say a renovation, like flipping a house, buy the worst house in the best street, and you're um
making that
uh
uplift and
making that uplift and getting out quickly, you can go into the next one. Still keep making still keep you know building
bigger
wealth like
gains.
that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And that's just like I'm a big fan of investing to make money. Call me weird, but I'd rather make money than lose a dollar to say 50 cents kind of thing. So yeah, cash flow I think is king, always will be, and it's proven itself even more so now. But that's just a personal opinion, I guess, not financial advice. So.
Put a disclaimer. So what would you tell like a first time investor to gain advantage over other buyers?
I
And
think, yeah, I think like mistakes and stuff get made early on. In is like so much stressing and theorizing around the best area to buy or something like that. I think
yeah,
less time on area, more time on strategy. Like, what are you trying to
uh-huh,
achieve?
yeah,
Like, what's the goal out of all this? Because if you've got like you might buy the best, I don't know, units. Like it might be half price, the best unit ever, but it doesn't align with your strategy. well, you're gonna have to sell it at some point and realign everything, and there's costs that come involved with that, like obviously like agent fees and the capital gains if you've got to realize it when you don't want to
Yep.
realize it, or losses. So I just think like the most important thing is getting the right strategy for you, for
Yeah.
your circumstance. Yeah, focus on that and buy a property that suits that. I think there haven't been too many, and I'm a big bargain hunter. Like I love getting a cheap property, and that's what we do. That's what we get paid to do. That's our job. But when people whinge about their properties they've bought in the past, they always whinge about the property type they bought. They don't
Yeah.
whinge about paying an extra 30 grand.
Yeah.
So, like, I would say that more focus on the asset type and what you
Yeah.
want to achieve out of it over your lifetime. And we're talking about generational wealth. So for us, it's cash flow that's going to out exceed all expenses forever. Like that's kind of our thing. So yeah, I think if you're buying the right thing for the right strategy, you can compound it faster without taking the wind out of the sail. Every time you make a change or whatever, like just takes momentum out, and it's harder to get going again. So I
Yeah.
think it's just, and you might change, like you don't know everything, like you learn as you go. But if you can put more time onto that side rather than stressing and theorizing about 1,000 different markets, you might set your criteria. My criteria is renovation and development potential
Yeah.
within the commuter belt of a capital city. And if my budget's 500 grand, there's very few places you can do that. So all of a sudden, all the markets in Australia narrow down to probably like just a handful or half a dozen kind of thing. So it's yeah, it's get the strategy right, then look at what's possible with your budget. I
Yeah.
think that'll get you on the right track quicker.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot to think about.
Sorry, I just rambled then. Sorry
I
about
love
that.
it. No, that's really good. No, I love it. All right. So, what are some of the like with that in mind? What are some of the misconceptions?
Yeah, I think it's probably around that kind of thing. Is like the home. Are you buying a home for yourself as an investment, like rent vesting? So like I think rent vesting has a much higher financial reward. And then the home has a lot more personal value. So if like what game are you playing? Are you focusing on that? It's a lot of times we do both and justify both, and we half get it right both ways. Half get a decent home
Yeah,
and
that's a good one.
half get a good investment. Yeah. So it's a bit
Yeah.
of a struggle. So house and land packages, I'm quite passionately against. If it's going to be a home to live in, again, not financial advice, but home to live in, that's fine. You want to make it the way you want to make it.
Yeah.
But if there's 1,000 getting built around the corner, probably not the highest quality property you can buy. So that's where some people get stuck. We on the sales side, we sold quite a few properties for losses for people that bought that kind of thing before all the craziness. It's
Mm.
real. People do lose money in property, but no one talks about it. It's like
Yeah.
there's that blind confidence. People just assume it's all good, and if you do lose money, you're too scared to tell anyone because you're the only one in the country that did it. So we do have a very positive narrative for a good reason. There's good stuff there, and I love it.
Mm.
We'll always do it. I don't own shares. I won't own shares. I'm
Yeah.
a property guy, but just that blind confidence that it'll always work out. And a lot of the time it does. Most things over 30 years are going to work out nicely on paper. But what
Yeah.
you don't see is the opportunity cost. If you bought the other asset, you would have been $1 million better off over 30 years. But you don't see that. You just see you're up $1 million yourself. So you're cheering. But I think that's where people get a little bit lost in it all.
Yeah. So,
I answered that twice in two parts. Sorry.
I love it. No, I love it. Yeah. No, I like how you just reeled it off. It's like you must have said it before or something.
Yeah, I did a lot of thinking. I don't do much
It's
else
great.
of that. It's like think about
Oh,
this
it's
stuff.
great. So how many years have you been in the buyers game?
But I'm a couple of years in on the buying side.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably what am I 10, almost 11 years on the investing side. Did
Yeah.
5 years in sales, and then a couple of years in on the buying side. So
Is it almost 20 years, is it?
yeah, oh
20
no,
years
so
in
that's all in
property?
the same in the same timeline. So
Yeah.
yeah, so 10 years all up in the space. 20 years. I first started saving for my first house 21 years ago. So I've been thinking about it for a while. And then yeah, so then just been more
I'll say
professional.
you've been you've
2
been
decades.
you've been in the property game for 20 years.
Yeah,
You've
that's right.
been
It's like when someone buys one property in like the 70s, and they're like, I got 40 years of experience. It's like 50 years, whatever it is, 50 years. So
yeah. I'm sure you've dealt with a few more property transactions than the average single homeowner.
but yeah, no, it's a good space. I'm glad we're part of it. It's great. I think it's shifting a little bit, like to the professional space. It feels like a lot less scarcity. Like I don't know, we're all in the space. We all help each other out and communicate like that. Like I think like the old school real estate ways were very much like this is mine. We hate everyone else. Like it is what it is. There's enough properties out there, like in the buyer's agent space. We're in the property management space as well, and there's some good providers, some not so good providers, and the same as every industry. We're unfortunately quite unregulated. It's pretty cruisy and easy to get into. The barrier to entry isn't very high, but there's a lot of great operators, and it's awesome to see people doing well. So yeah, I'm excited where we're at, where things are going, and yeah, just dealing with other people in the space has been awesome.
Yeah. It's yeah. I'm glad you brought that up because yeah, when a buyer comes to look for property, they might go to a sales agent because some of them say that they're buyers and sellers agents.
Mm-hmm.
And it's often the case that the property's out there, and if an agency isn't willing to put the word out there and to work with other agencies, or a seller's agent not working with a buyer's agent and vice versa, that sort of thing, there's an opportunity, there's a potential opportunity loss there because like especially if a sales agent is just doing one postcode, they're sort of it's all about relationships, and I think that's generally good business, and people will trust you if they see that other people trust you
Yeah.
rather than I'm the best, everyone else get lost.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
yeah,
you
100%.
know.
That's a good point. Yeah, yeah. I hadn't thought about it from that side.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah, it's definitely not talked about
Yeah,
enough. It's a human need basically, and an egotistical salesperson might want to um might admit that they need like human contact
yeah, yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever like that, but
yeah.
they do. So
Yeah, well, I don't know the numbers. I'm probably fudging the numbers, but like
yep,
95% of like US transactions are represented both sides, like buying side and selling side,
yeah,
something like that. Like, Europe is common as well. Like you engage an agent to represent you on the buying side. Like we were talking earlier about the law space. Like lawyers
yeah.
represent like their clients against each other. Like it'll be more common. It'll be more normal. And we just enjoy the process and adding value with the clients that we do have. So.
Yeah, for sure. Like we were saying earlier, the average punter, the mum and dad who's out there,
Mhm.
they're probably got a weekend or even just a Saturday to look for houses. But if they hire someone like you, they can definitely you're doing they can definitely like leverage their time better because you're working probably 6 days a week.
Yeah, yeah,
So every week you're doing the work that they're capable of doing in a month, and I
yeah,
think um when you think about it, like it just makes a lot of sense as employees. I think when I've been an employee,
mm,
I definitely discount my time. So um, yeah,
yeah. I'm a big fan of like also like I love property, but the most important thing is the amount of money you make.
Mm,
So you should spend every like minute you've got to try and make more money, so you can park it in property. And
yeah,
I think that when you look at it that way, it makes a lot more sense. So.
yeah, certainly. So, hmm. So, what's your website?
Ooh, our website's dodgy, but I'll give it to you.
Oh, look, I think I've seen worse.
You seen worse. We chucked it up when we first started, and I haven't looked back. Well, I've looked back at it recently. I'm like, I'm going to get that
Mm,
fixed. But oaklaneproperty.com.au, so oak like the
yeah.
tree, lane like the street. Our contact details are on there. But if you, if you want to chat property unofficially without the services and stuff like that, I'm on social media and that kind of jazz. So I'm
Oh, so
always,
you spend so that's a good place to find you.
yeah. I just jump around some of the property groups and stuff like that. Throw my opinion at anyone who listen to it. So,
Oh, nice.
but if I guess if anyone wants a service, they can go to the website more formally. But if they want to come to us or come to me or anyone just
Have a
chat, I'm
chat.
always
So,
happy.
what's the best social media platform to find you on?
Probably give me on most of them. But yeah, like Facebook's pretty common, like all the
You like your
Facebook groups and
Facebook?
that kind of stuff. So, and it feels like a lot of people that sort of in the property space seem to be on the same platforms. And I'm not very, I would say I'm not very photogenic. So Instagram and that kind of stuff, not my not my cup of tea. But we got to get I'm talking to you earlier. We jump on YouTube soon. So we'll get there
Yeah.
eventually.
Hey, well, you're good on video. I thought you wouldn't have much to say, but
Oh,
we
neither
can't
did
shut
I.
you up, man.
Yeah, that's it. Talking too much.
No, that's good. That's really good on Facebook. Yeah,
Yeah,
you yeah, definitely got a few good videos on there. So definitely check out facebook.com/Oak Lane Property. That's OAKLANE Property, PROPERTY. And it's got even more value on there for the investors. And I like that you've got your own portfolio yourself as well. So yeah, you're really coming from from a point of passion there.
yeah.
That's
If
cool.
I could long term wise, like long term, I don't talk about it much, but
Mm.
my goal, or our goal, I talk about our, but
Yeah.
it's mine, is a property fund. So we want to have people invest with us, and then we go invest our way, and then distribute profits, obviously. But I
Yeah.
don't have $100 million yet, so we're building the whole idea of the buyers agency just to build a great track record on behalf of clients. And then hopefully, eventually, one day we can use that as evidence of how good we are, and then transition into that fund format. But that's sort of 10, 20 years down the track. But yeah, I'll be here for a long time. So anyone wants to chat, I'm happy to.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good opportunity for people if they contact you for sure. So if you have a quick look on Braided's website, and have a look at the services optimization tab. With other buyers agents, I haven't seen this much. And are you actually talking about like product like projects that you manage?
Yeah,
And
the whole
yeah,
idea is it's
that's
full
really good.
service because we like to invest in. We feel like in the share space, the more passive you are, the more better returns you get. It seems less in
Mm.
and out. In the property space, the more active you are, the better returns you get. So not everyone has like gets the joy from it that we get from it,
Yeah.
and not everyone has the time to do it. So we do it on people's behalf. So find a great deal under market value, with great upside. Sort of implement that upside, whether that's manage a reno or something like that, and then property management ongoing. So get the cost down, maintenance cost down, running cost down, and get the rents up. So your servicing's good to go again. So the whole idea is we can just keep buying, building that generational portfolio. So that's sort of our whole model. It's a fair bit of work, but we enjoy it, so it makes it worthwhile.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I love that you come from the buyer's agent side. And when I saw your stand at the property expo, I had no idea that you're a buyer's agent. So if someone was to come to talk to you, what would be, or what's a like an investor wants more information?
Mhm.
What would be the process, generally speaking?
Yeah, just a chat. Like, again, like no fee, no charge or anything like that.
Yeah,
Just like a really general chat. We can go like it depends how deep someone wants to go. We could probably do
yeah,
something up like really deep strategy wise. But
yeah,
normally it's just a general initial chat. Most important thing is how much you got to spend, and then how we allocate that. So we chat about that, and then
yeah.
how we can get to the next
Very
one. So we
important.
don't want to be buying one for the sake of it and sort of slowing the process down. Just that we know where we're going. Like planning around like future dependence, like all those kind of things that could be limiting. And then what cash flow. So we'll work with your broker to say like this is the cash flows we need to hit to keep the servicing up or whatever. We can point you in the right way of like accountants and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Or use your own, but you got to get the trust structures right if you're trying to buy a large portfolio, like those kind of things. So yeah, just really general, no obligation chat. Happy to just talk about it and how we think we can sort of fit into that. And then yeah, just go from there. Talk to their appropriate professionals and come back to us when they're ready to roll, and we'll go smash it out. So yeah, not very scary, but yeah, pretty straightforward.
do you help people like negotiate? Because you've worked with, you've been on the seller and the buyer side. Do you help people negotiate
Yeah, it's
with
probably
the
my
property?
favorite part. Like, there's probably three
Oh,
reasons to
nice.
use. Yeah, using a buyer's agent probably for like
Yeah,
the time save, off
mm,
market stuff or the negotiation
yeah.
stuff. So obviously we tick all those boxes. But my thing is you can't be charging for the service if you're not adding a lot of value.
Oh,
And
totally.
negotiation gets float like the word. Everyone's a negotiator. Like we've paid. I don't know what I've paid. Probably like I don't know how many tens of thousands. I do the math. I haven't done the math. Tens of thousands of dollars
Mm,
in the sales side on actual negotiation, like the actual training of it, not just like putting on a suit and saying I'm negotiating now. So like a lot is invested in that side, and then take a lot of pride in it how we operate when we are negotiating with agents, and it is. It's easy to say, oh, there's a hot market. You just got to throw offers out and hope for the best. There's a lot more to it than that. And yeah, we pride ourselves on that side and the return that we make. We buy properties to make great returns. we sell our services, so our clients make great returns, and we only get paid when they make money. So that's why we've got the whole model. We think it fits nicely. But yeah, happy to go into more detail for anyone, but also happy to chat. So you don't have to use us to chat. So
Yeah, nice. Well, it's good to know you're active on Facebook and Instagram. That's always good for a chat.
yeah.
And so we better wrap it up soon. So if you're looking to build generational wealth, um, we hope you really enjoyed today's episode. And don't forget to reach out to Braden for a chat.
No, thank you. As also, I'm keen to stay in touch. Well, like with yourself, Nathan, we'll just stay in touch, and yeah, appreciate you having me on today.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's been great having you, Braden. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.